I've already fully completed Astro Bot with the Platinum Trophy to show for it, thanks to PlayStation gifting me the game ahead of release and allowing me to share my full and honest thoughts with you now. So at $60, is it worth it, and does it actually live up to the hype? Well, as I'm sure you've been able to tell from the trailers, Astro Bot takes everything we loved about Astro's Playroom and builds upon it further in incredibly imaginative ways, whilst also tying everything together in a cohesive story. The basic premise of the game is that the PS5 mothership is brutally attacked and crashes, spreading its parts and other bots across numerous galaxies. You then make your way through each of the levels in those galaxies on a mission to rescue every bot and lost ship part. There are 5 galaxies that are integral to the story, with 6 main levels in each, and an average of an additional 6 challenge levels as well. Within some of those main levels, you'll also find super secret portals to unlock even more levels in a bonus galaxy. There are 11 in total there to unlock, and with all of those, the main galaxies, and everything there is to explore on the crash site, it's clear that this is a huge platformer in terms of the amount of content it offers, taking about 15 hours to complete if you do want to do absolutely everything. That's at least 3 times longer than Astro's Playroom according to my new app, My Backlog, which you can download on both Android and iOS. It aims to be the ultimate hub for your gaming life, and having spent the past year developing this completely alone, I'd really appreciate you checking it out. I think you'll love it, and it is costing me a lot to host, so please give it a try. Anyway, when it comes to the gameplay within each of the levels, there is a lot of variety here and a lot of fun to be had. Well, I say that, there were a few challenge levels that I did start to rage at after 50 failed attempts. But when you do eventually succeed, wow, it feels good. The core gameplay does feel super familiar too, as it is essentially the same as Astro's Playroom and the other Astro games before it, but every single level makes sure that it adds to it in a new exciting way. A lot of the time, this is done through animal-based power-ups, which range from bulldog chargers, frog boxing gloves that you can also use to kind of web swing, all the way to being able to shrink down as if you're Ant-Man. There are absolutely loads of them too, each being unique, and every single one is thrilling to use, elevated even further by how they utilize a DualSense controller. Oh, and on that note, one thing I did notice is the touchpad is never utilized across the whole game, which I did find a little strange, especially when there were opportunities for it to be used, such as controlling this ball power-up. I mean, this is something that was actually present in Astro's Playroom, so it's really weird that it's not even an option here. Let me know what you think of that in the comments. Rest assured though, every other feature of the controller is used to perfection throughout the whole game, and even allows for some awesome sense-based level mechanics which I've never seen anywhere else. Speaking of different mechanics, there are several power-ups taken straight from other games, and even full levels based on iconic PlayStation heroes that will have you smiling the entire time. I don't want to spoil these, but some have been teased in the trailers, and you're gonna really love them. In addition to all the new great gameplay features, the level design has also been improved upon significantly since its predecessors. There was one particular level with day and night switches that completely rotates a map, allowing for some super interesting puzzles to find some of the hidden items, or even just to find fun secrets that are sprinkled throughout every part of the game. I could go on and on about level design here and all the different things the game does, especially when it comes to the end of the game, but to avoid ruining the experience, I'll stop here. Oh, and I should also mention visuals, audio, and general performance. Well, the truth of the matter is, it's very similar to Astro's Playroom, but has clearly been polished even further. The game looks excellent, sounds excellent, and I didn't notice a single dropped frame in my entire playthrough, so it feels incredibly smooth. I'm sure you can probably already tell from how I've been speaking about Astro Bot throughout this review, but this is an outstanding game. It feels like a sort of spiritual successor to all of PlayStation's previous games in this genre, such as Little Big Planet, Jak and Daxter, Crash Bandicoot, and so many others, and all the love for PlayStation and gaming in general that is packed into this just further elevates how much pure joy this game emits. If you enjoyed any of the previous Astro games, or even literally any platformer ever, I can guarantee you will enjoy this too. It's impossible not to, and in my view, sheer enjoyment and fun are what video games are for, and it's what a lot of them have lacked recently. Because of this, Astro Bot earns an easy 9.5 out of 10 from me, and it's only not a 10 because it has unfortunately launched without any time trials. trials. However, it has been confirmed that they will be coming in a free update later this year, so when that happens, 10 out of 10, easy. It's the most genuinely heartwarming and enjoyable game of the year, and whilst they say that money can't buy happiness, it can definitely buy Astro Bot, and most of your time playing, you will be smiling. So on that note, I see it as absolutely worth it, and I'd encourage you to support it just so we get more games like this. Also, don't forget to wishlist or backlog the game on my new app, and then once it's out, use it to properly track your play sessions, take notes, and so much more. Links to download are in the description. Before you start playing Astro Bot though, there are several things you need to know beforehand that I wish I knew going into it, and to see what those are, click the video on screen now. Also, please drop a like and consider subscribing if you enjoyed this review or found it helpful. I'd really appreciate it.